मैडम आपका वॉल्यूम बढ़ाइए आप।
हाँ सर।
आवाज मुझे तो नहीं आ रही आपकी।
तो वॉल्यूम पूरा है, 100% वॉल्यूम किया है।
Yes, madam. Now you can start.
Yes, okay, sir. A very good morning to one and all. I welcome you all in the national level faculty development cum orientation program on assessment and accreditation program of NAC, a joint venture of internal quality assurance cells of Santaji Mahavidyalay Nagpur, Yashoda Girls Arts and Commerce College Nagpur, J.M. Patel Arts, Commerce and Science College Bhandara, धरमपेट MP देव मेमोरियल साइंस कॉलेज नागपुर, महिला महाविद्यालय नागपुर, Dr. M.K. Umathe College Nagpur, and Barrister Sheshrao Wankhede College of Arts and Commerce Khaparkheda. I welcome Principal Dr. Vikas Domne sir, Principal of J.M. Patel College Bhandara, and I also welcome all the respected principals of all the colleges. Now I invite Dr. Karthik Panikar sir, Dean Administration, IQAC Coordinator and Head Department of English, J.M. Patel College Bhandara, to deliver introductory remarks. Dr. Panikar sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mahajan. A very good morning to all of you. The resource person for today's session, Dr. Piyush Pahade, principals of the collaborating institutions, 7 collaborating institutions, Dr. Priya Banjari, Principal Santaji Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur, Dr. Akhilesh Peshwe, Principal MP Dev Dharampet MP Dev Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Dr. Vikas Domne, Principal J.M. Patel College, Bhandara, Dr. D.V. Naik, Principal M.K. Umathe College, Nagpur, Dr. Vandana Bhagdikar, Principal Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur, Dr. Ramkrishna Tale, Principal Barrister Sheshrao Wankhede College, Khaparkheda, Dr. Dhanraj Shetty, Principal Yashoda Girls College, Nagpur, IQAC coordinators, faculty members who are attending this 8-day faculty development cum orientation program from different of India. I welcome you all to the concluding day of the FDP. It is indeed a honor for us to have with us Dr. Piyush Pahade. Of course, our compares will be giving a detailed introduction of Dr. Piyush Pahade later on. In these 7 days, we have had some wonderful lectures from resource persons who have been experts in their own areas. Now, today we have Dr. who's going to tell us about documentation and evidences. Now, this is, a very important area. We try to analyze what we have to write in different matrices, what kind of data we need to provide in different qualitative matrices. But this is one area that is unfortunately neglected. And we don't know what kind of documentation should be prepared, how it should be prepared, what all should be there. And I don't think, there is a better person to tell us about it than Dr. Piyush Pahade. I've heard him before, and I'm sure that you all will be benefited by his rich experience. I'll tell you one example. A couple of days back, one of our senior teachers who was earlier with us, came to see me, and he told us, sir, he told me that the university where he is now the IQAC coordinator, they did badly because the documentation was not proper. In the DVV, they lost. when, I mean, while they were expecting A grade, they got only B plus. They have of course gone for an appeal in the against the DVV process, because now there is an appeal that is allowed for the DVV also. Earlier it was only for the peer team visit. So see, even a good university with I mean documentation, if there is a problem with the documentation, they may also lose a good grade. So it's very important that we prepare documents that would be accepted by the that would be accepted by the DVV of the NAC. And I suppose today's lecture is going to be of immense use to all of us. We have lot of queries. Yesterday some of the people called me up, some of the participants called me up and said, "Sir, kya dene wale?" So I have already, Pade sir, I would like to tell you that I have already shared with the participants the 4 documents. They might be just sample documents, 4 documents that you had mailed to us, and I have requested them to take a printout of it and keep it with them, so that when you explain, they will be able to understand it better. Wishing you all a very enriching session today. And thank you, Pade sir, for accepting our invitation and being a resource person for this FDP. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Today we have with us renowned resource person Dr. Piyush Pahade sir, Head, Department of Zoology, H.V. Desai College, Pune. Sir is the founder member of IQAC Cluster India. Sir is associated with Wakefield Industries, Malhotra Wakefield, and Whitecoat Software Solutions as academic experts. He is a soft skill trainer for HRDC Pune and for cooperative training, and conducted more than 2000 workshops on the topic of 7 habits of highly effective people for the big cross section of the society. He has conducted many faculty development programs for teaching and non-teaching communities. Sir is expertise and helping organization in documentation process, policy writing, academic audits, website standardization, institutional spokes, etc. He is IQSC member for St. Teresa Institute of Education, Santa Cruz, Mumbai, Vivekanand Institute for Professional Studies, New Delhi, and Modern Law College, Pune. Sir has published 8 books and also published many papers in various national and international journals. With this determination, now may I invite Dr. Piyush Pahade sir to deliver his presentation.
Thank you so much, Veena ji, for a kind introduction. Respected principals from the conducting colleges for the workshop, my friend Dr. Karthik Panikkar, and dear all. We are in association with this college for quite some time through Panikkar sir. Before I start, in a minute's time, I'll just like to introduce something about IQAC cluster, and then we will start with our work. It's now an organization, but it's a movement of the teachers, because it has been started by the teachers and is for the teachers, and it tries to enhance itself in quality. So whatever is being asked by NAC and whatever plus needs to come is all that we try to deliver through quality. Cluster is a strong group now with more than 1,500 plus colleges roped in together pan-India. In the past 3 years, we must have conducted more than 1,000 workshops, webinars now, because it's previously it used to be live, now it is relatively online. We have helped a very large number of colleges in their DVV process, in their reports, in guiding them to prepare a report. And one of the big gray areas that you are able to see is documentation. We help the organizations to get ready and prepare themselves for documentation. Just as we are not born with habits, in the same way as we join teachers, we are not taught how to document. We try to learn documentation. Yeah. We can do something good with documentation, some area, because we know we have to face CAS, we have to face this, we have to face that. So we have our 10th passing certificate, we have our 12th passing certificate, we have our graduation certificate, we have your post-graduation certificate, MPhil, PhD, SET-NET certificates. ये तो है हमारे पास, हमारे research papers वो होते हैं. But when it comes to institution, we don't know how to work out. And NAC does not check you as an individual, NAC checks you as an institution. Institution is one entity. And the way Karthik ji was making a mention, it's not only about one organization about documentation. A very large number of organizations, very large number of organizations do not get good grades only because they don't document well. And I know organizations who may not be so good, but have got good grades, excellent grades, primarily because they focused on documentation. And therefore, let's try to know what is documentation. In the present session, we'll have a small presentation followed by a hands-on training on documentation for teachers, because majority teachers are present. We have two primary types of documentations. One for NAC, one coming from the teachers, which makes up a big bulk, and that decides the quality of the organization. And two coming from the non-teaching staff, especially the administrative section. How many students, how many teachers, how many PhDs, how many activities, etc. etc. So that documentation is normally maintained by the office, by the administrative section, primarily because it is needed multiple times at multiple places, even after years. But this second section, which is the main section, that is teachers' documentation, there is a problem over there. Let us look into what we can do as teachers and how we can work it out as teachers in this particular session. What is a good documentation and how to preserve a good documentation. And there are so many stories on documentation that keep on coming to me hearing. And let's look into this particular kind of documentation. We'll start with a small presentation. After the presentation, we will be going for an exercise on documentation. We will take one event that you have done, and let's try to see how we can document it. We'll also be talking in the chat boxes whenever we feel like interacting. Your questions are going to be a big motivation for me. Wherever you have a question, please feel free to ask me. So with this, let's start with the presentation, and then we will be going with an hands-on exercise. Just as we have a presentation, this is one presentation, we will be talking about documentation. This documentation is for teachers. The art of preserving work is documentation. And this man who's talking to you, his name is Piyush Phade. And I work in a college called H.V. Desai College, which is in Pune. We are talking about love when we are talking about documentation. This is what I feel. Documentation is a love letter you write to your future. If you are good today, you will love it tomorrow. If you are bad today, you will not trust yourself. Future plays a very important role. Now, when we talk of documentation and when we talk of teachers say definition क्या है? Three idiots. Definition क्या है? Documentation is defined as, this is not my word, these are the words of internet. Classifying and annotating text and related materials. The material provides official information or evidence as a record. And here we come to the word called record. There is a document and there is a record. Every record is a document, but every document is not a record. When you prepare a report, it's a document. After a few days, Panikkarji will be preparing a report. 7 colleges from Vidarbha came together and conducted this wonderful exercise. Document. So many colleges participated into it. MOU. Then you are able to see signatures of the principals. Then you are able to see the program copy. Then you are able to see registrations were so many. All these this data will be written down by him. A report will be prepared. That report will be kept with all the 7 colleges. That report is a document. But signing of the MOU is a record. Panikkarji sent me a letter requesting kindly conduct this session. Record. A Thanksgiving letter coming from him is a record. Photographs are records. Attendance is a record. Feedbacks is a record. Action taken on the feedbacks or analysis of the feedbacks is a record. NAC checks records. Documents give support to the records. So when we are talking about documentation and when we are talking about NAC, let us say, just as a record, just as a document would be needed, that document needs to be supported by the records. NAC checks records. When a DVV sheet comes, it says give the bloody proofs, records. The difference between a document and a record is document can be prepared anytime. Panikar ji आज बनाएंगे, 8 दिन के बाद बनाएंगे, 15 दिन के बाद बनाएंगे. प्रिंसिपल जी ने उनके गले को चाकू लगाया, बोला अभी दे दो, तो वो अभी बना के दे देंगे. But then a record is generated. A record is created at that time. This system is being recorded. Abhi ho raha hai. Photo is being taken now. Registrations have taken place at a particular time. Attendance is now. It's a record. Records are checked. Records are checked. And your document supports the records. And therefore, this process of documentation, where preparation of a document and preparation of a record is there, plays an important role. In other words, just as a document is going to be written, record is to be created that minute only. When you are conducting an activity, signatures come into picture. Attendance is through the signature. उसी समय signatures हो जानी चाहिए, उसी समय photo निकलने चाहिए. Then and then it becomes a proof. Then and then it becomes.
बाद में बात करते हैं. अर्जेंट नहीं तो बात
You are able to see.
हाँ ये
We
चालू
need to
तुम अटेंड नहीं
understand.
कर रहे के बस वही रुक जा पहले ये कर रहे थे मेरे को ये लफड़ा हो गया
Kartiki, shall we go ahead?
Karthik sir, your mic is on, I think so. Karthik sir?
Sir, please proceed. Sir, please proceed. I'm extremely sorry.
Yeah. Now, when we talk of documentation, we always say, तो IQC की जिम्मेवारी है, हमारा तो कुछ नहीं है. तुमने मांगा, हमने दे दिया. We gave you what you asked. Story is over. No. Documentation. Ideally, IQSC. Who is in IQSC? We say the committee of IQSC. No, everybody is in IQSC. Some are in the committee. Others are not in the committee, but they are in IQSC. Tell me which teacher will say that I will not like to have my tomorrow's lecture better than what it was today. We are talking about the quality of the lecture. Everybody is into quality. So internal quality is everybody's business. Internal quality is everybody's responsibility. Internal quality is everybody's necessity. Organizations need internal quality, and the only way to check the progress is documentation, and participation is the key. If we don't participate in documentation, we will get a bad grade. You may say it is the responsibility of the IQC coordinator. IQC coordinator is responsible and principal is responsible for the bad grade. No, we are responsible because we haven't documented well. So participation is the key, and this is our story. Here you are able to see two animals. One is a tiger and other is a man. This is our work story. We work hard. We care for our students. We fight for our students so that they get the benefit. We achieve it. We see to it that our students are happy. We are also happy. And then we document it because we don't document it because we feel it is not important. Documentation is like a sleeping tiger. The tiger is sleeping, you are also sleeping. And then we forget to document. And so, no documentation. But the bad thing is, forgetting is difficult and remembering is bloody worst. And then NAC comes. And documentation kills the college. And we blame NAC for not understanding us. देखो कैसा NAC है, इतना हम काम करते पर शेर खा गया हम. Documentation kills you. Good documentation is like a tamed tiger. If the documentation is good, the confidence of the organization is tremendous. This is my experience. If the documentation is bad, we start the blame game. This man is like this, he did this, she did this. Everything cooks up because everything else other than me becomes important over here. So documentation plays a very, very important role. Now let us see what does a document do. But number one, document records the past. Number two, it states the current situation. What is the number of admissions that have taken place today? Current situation. How many admissions had taken place in the past? Records the past. It predicts the future. Documentation helps you to plan for tomorrow. Documentation creates a system. It finds the inadequacies if we read our documents. So, क्या हो रहा है आज? It tells you where we are lacking. Documentation guarantees you the resources of time because you are able to see the future. It tells us what, but it also tells us what not. ये हुआ है पर ये नहीं हुआ है. Keep in mind, documentation is the heart of the organization. If we don't document, we are over. Those colleges who have got good grants, who are going for autonomy, they had a good documentation. They have a good grade. And in the past, if they have done something, in the present it is difficult because NAC is changing every day. Every time some new change comes into their formats. Small changes, but they are there. And therefore, our documentation needs to be very good. Now, why is documentation important for IQAC? ये एक और बात आ जाती है. It is the advertisement of your work. It cuts down the operational ambiguity. हम जो कह रहे हैं वही हमको लिखना पड़ता है. So it cuts down the operational ambiguity. By looking at our document, we can learn. That is training material हो जाता है. Look at this particular event. It must have got a good cost. But looking at these events, if they are recorded in a proper way, if they are documented in a proper way, it becomes a training time. You are able to save your training time. Furthermore, it helps us in creating and updating the best practices. By looking at it, you are able to see, yes, we can now go for something like this. ये अच्छा हो सकता है. This will help the students, will help the teacher, will help the organization. This will streamline the process. You're talking about best practices. Tracking the improvements become easy. इतना ये हुआ था, अभी इतना हुआ है, अभी इतना है. This is our final goal. Something very important, documentation helps us make more money. Because there are institutions who have been tracking their admissions very closely. Even during COVID period, they did not lose on admissions. Rather, they made more money in the COVID period than what they did previously. Documentation here starts becoming very, very important. And if you have a good documentation, it indicates you are a good professional organization. There's a college called Nanavati College in Mumbai. The administrative officer of Mrs. Kia Mukherjee takes care of administration. Long before even COVID was known to the world, she went for a complete automation of the systems. She put everything on the cloud. And when COVID came, that was one college which was not hampered even by 1%. During the first lockdown, the college was working 10 to 5 from home. The office was doing a lot of work. Over and above, they could cut down on paper, and they have cut down to the tune of 60% of paper. So you are able to see documentation plays a very, very important role. It's a way of being a professional organization. You want your current day salary slip, it is already ready. You don't have to even ask for it. Click it, go to your account, open it, take it down, keep it with you, it will remain. Or it will remain over there. After 10 years also, you will get your salary slip of the current month. Documentation plays a very big role. But then we have some very fantastic Indianized techniques of documentation. Number one, no documentation is the best documentation. I have heard it so many times. Sir, हम नहीं करते documentation. फिर हम बोलते हैं कि सर हमारे ग्रेड खराब आएगा आगे. Just a few, maybe 2 weeks ago, I had a phone call from UP. They said, sir, we got a C grade. Because that gentleman had called me 2 years back and had said, हम ऐसी बातों के ऊपर विश्वास नहीं करते, हम बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं. He was the IQC coordinator over there, and now the organization is behind him. Why did you get a bad grade? He said, we don't have a document only. No documentation. There is one more. I will ask for a document and he'll say, give me two. I will give you tomorrow, the tomorrow concept. आज एक्टिविटी हो गई, कल करेंगे, कल 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 कल, the tomorrow concept. The third aspect is, it's not my job. मेरा काम पढ़ाना है, मेरा काम डॉक्यूमेंट करना नहीं. मैंने एक्टिविटी ली है, किसी और ने करना है. I am not paid for that. This is all false, but we think so. Because we are not taught to document. Then data incorrectness is very common. What is needed, what those small things are needed, that is also very common. No signature, no accountability. I will not sign. So no accountability. That I have prepared this report. I remember one very fantastic story that had taken place in my college in the previous cycle. हमने डेटा मांगा था previous AQRs के लिए. Into there was one question which was called as how many rooms are present. अभी नहीं है वो, पर तब था. और फिर हमारा आ गया कि 5 मंजिला इमारत है हमारी, एक्चुअली 7 फ्लोर्स है. You have 50 rooms करके आ गया. The next year we asked for the data. It went to the office, and then 40 rooms came. दंग रह गए, अपनी 10 rooms कहाँ, कौन चोरी करके लेके गया. So we went to the office and said whether we have 50 rooms or 40 rooms. So the one who had counted them, he said 40 rooms है. मैंने कहा फिर अभी 10 rooms अपनी कहाँ चोरी हो गई ये बताओ, हमको तो वो 10 रूम चाहिए. बोले कहाँ कुछ चोरी हुआ, सब तो यहाँ पर ही है. बोले पिछले साल का जो आपने डेटा दिया है उसमें 50 रूम्स है. तो उन्होंने किसने दिया, ये किसने लिखा, किसने बताया? Everybody except me was the answer. I did not write it. What came into then picture was, if you write down any number, you will sign it out over there. And then people said, if we are to sign, for example, there are 40 rooms. If I am to sign, there are 40 rooms. People said, I will not sign. No signature. I am not responsible. So you are able to see we don't want to take responsibilities, and this is hampering our documentation. Having incorrect, illogical proofs, this is one more thing. कुछ भी किसी के साथ भी जोड़ देते हैं. I recollect 1 year, a teacher came to me and said, sir, this is my rickshaw bill. I said, what do I do with your rickshaw bill? It is 30 rupees. He said, okay, give me my 30 rupees. I said, of what? I had conducted one activity of flower decoration last year. I said, so that time I did not have the bill, so I did not get this 30 rupees. I said, so I'm now giving you the bill. I found it. Now you give me the 30 rupees, but I never asked you for this particular activity. He said, no, I want the money. Illogical. I'm giving you a proof that I had come by rickshaw. Isn't it an illogical proof? An illogical proof. Distortion of facts. This is one more thing that we do. Keeping it in a wrong name. Storage की बात आ गई. Bad preservation. Keeping it at a wrong location. You can see a picture over here how it is being dumped. Using technology without its knowledge. In this computer, I have everything, but where I have kept, I don't know. In what name I have kept, I don't know. I can never find it out. And the last part is very fantastic. The जुगाड़ concept. कुछ भी करके कुछ भी दे देंगे. ना आगे का देखेंगे, ना पीछे का देखेंगे. You are able to see. Now catches you and starts asking you questions. There are organizations for faulty and bad documentation and incorrect documentation, and irresponsible documentation for stealing, thieving, they have been penalized, and there will be no NAC to them for 5 years. So you're able to see there is blacklisting. Documentation plays a very important role. Let us play a small game. I have been talking for a very long period of time. Now, I request you to come into the chat boxes. And now, look at this particular event. Before we go to documentation, let us fill up this event. What is the event? Can you please type it in your chat boxes? What is this event? Please go through it very carefully. See what is written down. And after 1 minute, please answer, what is this event? By the way, Nagpur is my city. It's my parental town. So it's a great pleasure to have 6 organizations from Nagpur. By the way, I'm waiting for what is the name of the event, or not the name of the event, what is the event? I have deliberately chosen this particular file. Please type it down in your chat boxes. I have opened my chat box and I am waiting for the answers. What is the event? See it very carefully and then reply. Yes, what is the event? Please answer. I'm waiting for the answer. This is a workshop. Absolutely okay. This is an annual dinner. That's what somebody makes a mention. Is it anything else? Okay, annual dinner hosted by the Kashmir Education. Okay, anything else? Any other answer to come? A book, yes, fantastic. Somebody has made a mention that it's a book promotion event. Book sale and book promotion, fantastic. It's a book sale and a book promotion event. Really very nice. Now, on what day is it? What is the day? On what day is it? And what date is it? What is the day and what is the date? It's kept there on the screen. What is the day? Okay, it is 14th. Absolutely right. 14th of what? 14th of what? It's not for half an hour. You have to join by 6:30. It's not for half hour. A dinner cannot be completed in half hour. And a book review cannot be done in half hour. On the 14th of 2014. Okay, but which month? Which month? 2013. Absolutely right. September 14 September 2013. Fantastic. At what time? It is the joining time. It is, what is the joining time? Yes, absolutely right. Saturday, 14 September. What is the joining time now? I want you to participate. Please participate. I want you to participate in large numbers because we are trying to learn documentation. This is one important aspect that is coming into documentation. Yes, come on. Yes. Let's try to know. Please, what is the time? Time for joining. Absolutely right. 6 to 6:30 is the time for joining, let us say. Fantastic. What is the, who's the guest? 6 to 6:30. Fine, fantastic. Very good. 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m., 6 to 6:30 p.m., 6 p.m., question mark 6:30 p.m. That's fantastic. Not an issue. Now, that is the time to join. Who is the guest? Who is the guest? Who is the chief guest for this particular event? No, there is a guest. It's not ambiguous. There is a guest. You're able to see her on the screen. There is a guest. Who is the guest? Author herself. What is her name? आपके डॉक्यूमेंट में लिखो कि author ही guest है करके. Absolutely right. It's Christine Backer. She is the guest. Very true. That's right. Christine Backer is the guest. Where is this activity taking place? What is the venue of the activity? Where is the activity taking? Absolutely right, Christine Backer. Where is the activity taking place? Karthik ji, your team is not participating with whole art. Hilton Hotel, absolutely right. Hilton Hotel, absolutely right. Where is Hilton Hotel? But in Pune, in New Delhi, in Nagpur, Bradford. Yes, fine, fantastic. Now, who is the target audience for this particular program? Who's the target audience for this particular program? Participate. Come on, quick. I'm not asking you anything out of the world. Readers are the participants. Absolutely right. Very nice. It's a wonderful answer that has come. What is the possible outcome of this particular activity? What could be the possible outcomes of this particular activity? Sale of book, absolutely right. Number one. What more? Anything else? There can be multiple outcomes. One is sale of book. Yes, sale of book is one thing. Publicity about to the yes. The second one the third one can be interaction with the author on a particular topic. Very true. Fantastic. What more? Absolutely right. It's very true. Yes. What more? Something more. Promotion of the book. Very true. Great sale of the book. Promotion of the book. Yes. Something more can come in. Look at the title over there. An education knowledge about advertisement of the education foundation. Very true. Fifth. Absolutely right. Providing knowledge that we have counted out. Anything else? See, there are multiple outcomes that you are able to see. Someone may say a bloody dinner. Absolutely right. A dinner also can be an outcome. Fantastic. So you are able to see there can be multiple outcomes to a particular activity. These outcomes need to be written down. So just an example that we have taken. We are going ahead. When we look at the documentation, you are able to see. When we look at the documentation,
कमिशन ऑफिस नहीं मैं ओके वो लोग भी नए हैं वो दूसरा ऑफिस ढूंढ रहे हैं
उनको भी नहीं मिला। चलो इधर से करते। प्रशास की बिल्डिंग चलो अंदर चलो। वो तो कड़ू का ऑफिस ही आ गया। हाँ एकदम चलो अंदर। इधर ही है क्या उनका? हाँ इधर ही। हाँ तो फिर चलो ना।
डॉक्टर सिद्धार्थ आपण आम्ही थांबू का थोड्या वेळ अजून तुमचं होईपर्यंत?
Siddharth Meshram sir, mute your mic please.
Fine. So disturbances make the session very dull. Anyway, let's go ahead. Now, who's with you in the documentation? That's what is going to matter. So, for which there are levels of documentation. It would mean that there are 6 levels of documentation. 1, personal level of documentation. Most documents that we prepare are of personal level. For example, I am delivering a talk right now. I don't know whether this is going to be useful for my organization or not. It's useful for me. Personal level of documentation. Personal level documentation, that is, me as a person needs to have the document. Karthik ji has sent me a letter. The college has sent me a letter. That's a document for me, which I will showcase to my institution. What work have you done for the community? ये देखो ये कागज मैंने दे दिया. Personal level of documentation. Some documentation is useful for the college. For example, the research paper that I write, the book that I have written down recently, the chapter that I have recently written down for one of the books. That is going to help me and my organization also, but that still remains as a personal level of documentation. So here you are able to see the first level of documentation, which does not involve the college, though it may be useful for the college or it may not be useful for the college, is personal level of documentation. Many of you must be writing in the newspapers. You must be writing down research papers. You must be writing down book articles. You must be giving talks to the community. All these come at personal level. You may be getting some awards from national bodies. Personal level documentation. Then comes the second level of documentation where you are conducting an activity, individual level of activity, but you are conducting it for your students, for your college. Who's going to document? You are going to document. Who's going to document? You alone are going to document. But for whom are you documenting it? For your college. Individual level of documentation. So individual in the organization, that makes it an individual level of documentation. Then comes the third level of documentation. You have a timetable which is to be shared with your colleagues in your department. You may have a teaching plan which is to be made in association with others. You have an operational academic calendar where your some duties come with you. You have some departmental meetings where you have to write down the document. Departmental level of documentation where your colleagues are going to be a part of that documentation. It's quite possible that you are working in science faculty or commerce faculty or some other faculty. That faculty has some of its own documentation. That becomes faculty level of documentation. There are a large number of people, if it's a big organization, there are a large number of people are from that particular commerce faculty are going to contribute to a particular event. Faculty level of documentation. In colleges, you are able to see it's an arts, commerce, science college, and there is a committee called as Mahila Sabalikaran Committee. It's an example. There are some people from science, some from arts, some from BBA, some from BCA, some from all of them working together. These together are going to maintain the documents, meetings, minutes of the meetings, register, activity, etc., etc. Committee level documentation. And of course, this particular activity is an example of college level documentation. So you're able to see multiple levels of documentation, and in this particular documentation, if the documentation is to go well, we need to know who is with you in documentation. With whom are you working in documentation? How are you looking at it that even before the activity begins, the documentation begins? अगर वैसा होता है तो बढ़िया हो जाता है, अगर वैसे नहीं होता है तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन खड्डे में चले. Level of documentations count, and who's working with you for that particular documentation counts, so that you can start work. In the beginning only, before the activity takes place, you can already start sharing out that you're going to take care of this part of the documentation. I'm going to take care of this part of the documentation. Let us prepare for the document. Let us make a format of the document. Signature लेनी है तो वो जब activity होने वाली है उसी समय activity के समय signature लेनी. So level of documentation counts. That's what I mean to say. What are the features of a good documentation? There are some features of a good documentation. Number one, it should be complete in all respects. A document should be complete in all respects. Just some time ago, I had just given you one idea. उसमें सब कुछ आ गया है, आने की कोशिश की गई है. So you are able to see a documentation needs to be complete in all aspects. Number two, it should be clear and self-explanatory. What you are saying is what is being understood. There is no ambiguity, कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं है, ऐसा है कि ऐसा है. The third part is going to be the purposefulness. For what purpose are you creating this document? And whether it is serving the purpose of the exact purpose for which the document is being created. ये तीसरी बात आ जाती है जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. चौथी बात जो आती है जो उससे भी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है वो है अकाउंटेबिलिटी. अकाउंटेबिलिटी कम्स विद रिस्पांसिबिलिटी. The one who is preparing the document is responsible for the creation of the document. अगर वो गलत हो जाता है तो he is liable for the necessary punishment. Because documents are not created responsibly, therefore you are able to see there is a big problem that comes into picture. So accountability बहुत important है. किसने बनाया है डॉक्यूमेंट और वो कंप्लीट बना है कि नहीं बना है, ये बहुत जरूरी बात है. Then fifth part is timely. It should be in time. That would mean that when it is prepared, it must be prepared when the activity has taken place. This timeliness definitely counts out primarily because I like to share something. When the activity is going on, documentation must be prepared. क्योंकि records आते हैं. इसका मतलब है planning for documentation plays a very important role. We plan for the activity, but we don't plan for the document. अभी हर एक्टिविटी कॉलेज में होने वाली, it must be with a geotagged picture only. NAC will not accept it after 2024. They already declared it. All those who are going for NAC currently, they have to go for geotagging. So geotagged pictures are going to play an important role here. What is geotagging? There are apps called as geotagging apps which are available in the Play Store. Download them. When they go on with your internet, and they go on with your location. And when they go on with your location, that time what comes in is this is the latitude, this is the longitude of that particular photograph that you have taken out. This is the information about that this photograph has been taken at so and so place. So latitude, longitude, name of the place, तीन बातें आ गई. Date, चौथी बात आ गई. And time, पांचवी बात आ गई. And then you can also Photoshop and tell what is that activity, you can showcase it out. जैसे कम से कम 6 बातें एक ही फोटो में आ जाती. So timely preparation counts. Something very important उसके बाद accessibility यानी retrievability. मतलब क्या? I have prepared the documentation, but I don't remember where I have kept it. What we do is we prepare the document, we take a Xerox of it and give it to NAC or to give it to IQAC. And then that IQAC guy says that I want the original document. तो दे दिया तेरे को, सब दे दिया. ये IQAC बार-बार पूछते ही रहता है, वो कुछ भी करो, they keep on asking. In this particular documentation that I am saying, the one who has prepared is responsible for the document. That document needs to be preserved at the department itself. And its accessibility is important. Manga ke milna chahiye. That is what an accessibility happens to be. So retrievability really counts out. Retrievable is to get the document back. Then something very important. We believe everything must be collected in IQAC. Why? I remember one question that was asked by one of the teachers in one of the reputed colleges in Mumbai. She said that, why are we collecting documents? We should not collect documents. That's absolutely right. We are teachers. IQAC is made up of teachers. Documentation should be distributed documentation. The one who has created the document, the department that has created the document must be responsible for that document. इसका मतलब है why that department should have the original document, primarily because that department will need that document again and again. पिछले साल क्या किया था वो चेक करने के लिए original document देखना पड़ेगा ना. So retrievability, the original document will remain with the department. Now, if this is the case, then what is the role of IQAC? We'll look into, when we look at the documentation, we will look into it. But in other words, when we are talking about documentation, one, I'm just repeating it out. Number one, it should be complete. When you are creating a document, उसमें सारे के सारे details आने चाहिए जैसे हम अब देखने ही वाले हैं. It should be self-explanatory. It should have a purpose. It should be made purposefully. It should be accountable. The one who has prepared the document should be responsible for the document. It should be conducted in time. It should be timely. It should be submitted in time. It should be prepared in time. It should be accessible. And it should be retrievable. जब चाहिए तब देख सकेंगे और उसको रिट्राइव भी कर सकेंगे, जैसे चाहिए वैसे ओरिजिनल देख सकते हैं. एक और बात है कि it should not be Xeroxed again. Once it is made, it should be the original. I am talking about the first document that is being made. The first document is the last document that is being made. No changes will be done in that document. Second, it should be with the owner, that is distributed with that owner department. These are the 7 features that play a very important role. And they count the most. If you want to cut down on documentation, if you don't want to make it messy, there should be no Xeroxing. एक बार बन गया कि first document is the final document that comes into picture. Let us now do an exercise of documentation, of accountable documentation. Now, how is an accountable documentation coming into picture? Let us look into it. Accountability of the documentation is everyone is accountable for documentation. This is one part, because everyone is a part of IQAC. And documentation is everybody's responsibility. That is what accountability happens to be. Let us now work with what you have Xeroxed out today. We'll take that one, document number 1. I'll request all of you to please take document number 1 in your hands. Karthik sir had told you to see to it that you have the Xerox copy of this particular document. I will make it a little bigger so that it becomes easier for you to observe also. We are going to fill up this particular document now. Please come to document number 1. I'm waiting for you so that you get the right document in your hands. Document number 1. I'm talking about documentation for teachers. Number 1, teacher's activity report for the year, please put the year. Let us say it is 2021, 2022. Think that you have conducted one activity. कोई भी activity आज आप कर रहे हो ऐसे मान लो. It could be a guest lecture, it could be a visit, it could be anything that you are conducting, a quiz in the classroom, it could be anything. Taking it into mind that today you are conducting it, let us look into how will you prepare a document. Academic year is 2021-22. This is one thing. The first block is filled up. What is the name of the activity? Please write down the name of the activity. I request you to please write down the name of the activity. It could be a guest lecture by, it could be visit to, it could be a tour to, it could be some kind of activity. It could be something that you need. Name of the activity. Now, if you have written down the name of the activity, we come to department. Whether that activity is normally it is conducted by the department or it is conducted by the committee. So, who has conducted that particular activity? Let us look into it. Please write down. Activity conducted by. If it is department, put your departmental name. If it is, let us say, Mahila Sabalikaran Committee, put it that way. Sometimes there are clubs in the colleges, especially when we look at go to the north, Delhi and all that side, they also have clubs. So some kind of club activity. Now, on what day and date was conducted? Put today's day and date, for example. It's a dummy activity that we are doing. Today's day and today's date. Today is Monday, 27th September 2021. Venue, where is it being conducted? Whether it is in the seminar hall, whether it is in the at some place, whether it is whatever it is. What time is it being conducted? 11 to 1, 2 to 4, 27th to 29th of September, day long. So time can come in day, time can come in dates. Then इसको कुछ नहीं करना है. IQC document number will come to it after some time. So that you understand how documentation is to be done. This number, इसको भी रहने दो ऐसे. Now we come to number of the further details. How many students were present for this activity? Number of participants. ये बहुत बड़ा, ये बहुत important बात है. Whenever you conduct an activity, NAC expects two things. One happens to be penetrance and second happens to be expression. ये जो biologists हैं उनको तो समझ में आ जाएगा what is penetrance and what is expression, expressivity. क्योंकि हम जीन्स के बारे में जब बात करते तो हम कहते हैं कि penetration of the genes and expression of the genes. वैसे एक्टिविटी में भी penetrance कितना है and expression कितना है. पेनिट्रेंस का मतलब है कि हम कितने बच्चों तक पहुंचे हैं. We have reached 500 students. एक्सप्रेशन कितना है? 10. खराब एक्सप्रेशन. सो ठीक है, 500 में से 450 बच्चे आ गए. एक्सलेंट एक्सप्रेशन. नैक सारी एक्टिविटीज नंबर गेम पे चलती है. कितनी एक्टिविटीज, कितने बार हुई है. आपने कहा ये महिला सबलीकरण की एक्टिविटी है, इसके लिए we have, let us say it's a college, it's a co-ed college, there are 1000 students. 800 प्लस स्टूडेंट्स पार्टिसिपेट इन द एक्टिविटी, उस एक्टिविटी के लिए आपको A+ मिल गया। नंबर गेम है, नंबर ऑफ पार्टिसिपेंट्स। फिर ये एक्टिविटी कैसी थी, नेचर ऑफ एक्टिविटी कैसी थी? और कहते हैं एक साथ 800 बच्चे नहीं आ सकते, कोई बात नहीं, हमने 10 बार कर सकते हैं एक्टिविटी को और 800 आ सकते हैं, उसमें से रिपीट्स नहीं चलेंगे। फिर नेचर ऑफ द एक्टिविटी आउटडोर है कि इंडोर है कि अभी ऑनलाइन भी एक आदमी है, ऑनलाइन है। टिक मार्क करो जो है, नंबर ऑफ पार्टिसिपेंट डाल दो, डमी एक्टिविटी करें। टाइप ऑफ एक्टिविटी, कौन सी एक्टिविटी हम जो क्लास में पढ़ाते उसके लिए की गई हुई एक्टिविटी। मान लो हमने कोई क्विज रख दिया, एकेडमिक एक्टिविटी हो सकती है। कम्युनिटी में जाके कम्युनिटी के साथ काम कर रहे, एक्सटेंशन एक्टिविटी। स्टूडेंट्स के लिए सॉफ्ट स्किल का प्रोग्राम ले रहे हैं, स्टूडेंट प्रोग्रेशन की एक्टिविटी हो, स्टूडेंट सपोर्ट की एक्टिविटी हो। स्टूडेंट्स के लिए कोई कोचिंग ले रहे ताकि वो आगे प्रोग्रेशन के लिए जाए, स्टूडेंट प्रोग्रेशन की एक्टिविटी होगी। हो सकता है कॉलेज में कोई स्वच्छता अभियान किया, एनवायरमेंट की एक्टिविटी होगी। हो सकता है ट्रेनिंग बॉयज टू बिहेव प्रॉपरली विद गर्ल्स, जेंडर की एक्टिविटी होगी। डेज हो सकते हैं, एनरिचमेंट की एक्टिविटी हो सकती है। एनरिचमेंट की एक्टिविटी कोई भी एक्टिविटी हो सकती है। व्हाट यू आर टीचिंग, हाउ आर यू लिंकिंग इट अप विथ द कम्युनिटी इज व्हाट इज एनरिचमेंट। इसके अलावा क्या कुछ भी हो सकता है। यू आर एबल टू सी सो मेनी टाइप्स ऑफ एक्टिविटीज कैन कम। सो टिक मार्क द राइट 1 और 2 और कितने हैं वो। Then comes whether the activity was planned or it was not planned, scheduled or not scheduled। आपका प्लान होता होगा तो scheduled है, नहीं होता होगा तो unscheduled है। सीधी बात है, शेड्यूल्ड है तो उसके लिए फंड्स एक्सेप्टेड है। ये एक्टिविटी शेड्यूल्ड एक्टिविटी है तो इसके लिए फंड्स भी एलोकेट करके रख दिए गए। फंडिंग रिसोर्स सेल्फ है, स्पॉन्सर्ड है, एनजीओ की है, इंडस्ट्री की है, एक्सचेंज है। किसने पैसे दिए? हमने खुद ने पैसे दिए। स्पॉन्सर्ड एक्टिविटी को स्पॉन्सर मिला, एनजीओ ने एक्टिविटी कंडक्ट किया, आपने पैसे नहीं दिए, उन्होंने कंडक्ट किया तो हमारा टाइप दिखेगा। इंडस्ट्री के साथ है तो टाइप दिखेगा। एक्सचेंजेस हो सकते हैं तो एक्सचेंज हो सकता है। नाउ दीज आर 7 colleges, टीचर्स कैन बी एक्सचेंज्ड, स्टूडेंट्स कैन बी एक्सचेंज्ड, ऑल दिस कैन कम इन ओवर हियर। एनीथिंग एल्स? मान लो कि आपने आपकी शेड्यूल्ड एक्टिविटी है, मान लो कि एक गेस्ट लेक्चर है, तो देन इन दैट केस हु इज द वेरी चीफ गेस्ट ओवर देयर? उनका नाम क्या है? नेम ऑफ द चीफ गेस्ट, दैट विल कम इनटू पिक्चर। If you have filled up this entire column, let's go to the next box. Brief information about the activity. उसमें into bracket criteria number, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। अब आप कहोगे क्राइटेरिया नंबर हमको तो नहीं मालूम, तो नीचे आ जाओ, देखो यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है फॉर रेफरेंस। क्राइटेरिया नंबर 1, करिकुलर एस्पेक्ट्स, शॉर्ट टर्म कोर्सेस, एनरिचमेंट, ये 2 बातें आती है उसके अंदर। क्राइटेरिया 2 अगर कहोगे तो टीचिंग, लर्निंग एंड इवैल्यूएशन उसका टाइटल है। उसमें टीचिंग मेथड की कुछ एक्टिविटीज आ सकती है, अलग अलग मेथड जो इस्तेमाल किए, और कुछ एकेडमिक एक्टिविटीज आपने किए तो वो आ सकती है, विजिट्स आ सकती है, इस टाइप की एक्टिविटीज आ सकती है। अगर आप क्राइटेरिया 3 में हो, रिसर्च, इनोवेशन से एक्सटेंशन, तो एक्सटेंशन कम्युनिटी वर्क के साथ किया गया एक्सटेंशन। आप कहोगे देखो एनएसएस में कम्युनिटी वर्क चल रहा है, बराबर है, पर हमने हमारे कॉलेज में बैठ के ही हमने कम्युनिटी वर्क किया है, तो वो कम्युनिटी वर्क नहीं हुआ। एनएसएस की वो एक्टिविटीज काउंट होगी क्राइटेरिया 3 में जहां आप कम्युनिटी के साथ गए। बात समझ लो, अगर आप कम्युनिटी के साथ गए हो तो ही वो एक्सटेंशन एक्टिविटी काउंट होगी। कल आप कहोगे एनएसएस ने 200 एक्टिविटीज कंडक्ट की थी, पर उसमें से 140 एक्टिविटीज घर में हुई थी, तो घर में ही रहेंगी वो। So you are able to see that activity which goes with the community is counted by NAC in extension. Otherwise, it is not counted. डीवीवी में नैक बता देता है कि नंबर ऑफ एक्टिविटीज कंडक्टेड, एक्सटेंशन एक्टिविटीज कंडक्टेड, आप सारी डिटेल दे देते हो उसके साथ में. Then you say it 212 activities were conducted in 5 years. NAC कहता है 212 activities were not conducted in 5 years. 122 activities were conducted in 5 years. फिर हम सोचना शुरू कर देते हैं यार इन्होंने कहाँ काट के रख दिया, समझ में नहीं आ रहा. इतने तो सारे डॉक्यूमेंट दिए थे. फिर समझ में आ जाता है उनको कि ये जो घर में हुई काम है ये नहीं चलने वाला है. So I try to understand this. So क्राइटेरिया 3, क्राइटेरिया 4 में कुछ अपने लिए ज्यादा नहीं आता है. क्राइटेरिया 5 स्टूडेंट सपोर्ट एंड प्रोग्रेस, कुछ सॉफ्ट स्किल के प्रोग्राम्स आ सकते हैं, स्किल डेवलपमेंट के प्रोग्राम्स आ सकते हैं, स्टूडेंट की इवेंट्स आ सकती है, गेम्स आ सकते हैं, को करिकुलर्स आ सकती है. 6 में बड़ा काम नहीं आता है, पर 7 में आता है. एनवायरमेंट, डेज, जेंडर, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस एक्सेट्रा के ऊपर हुआ एक्टिविटीज. ये आपके रेफरेंस के लिए. सो ये किस क्राइटेरिया में आता है वो यहाँ पे आप लिख के रखोगे. क्राइटेरिया नंबर 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whatever it is. Now, once you have done that, then what? Then we come to brief information about the activity. What is the topic of the activity? वो अपने ऊपर लिखा है, वो आप वापस लिख सकते हो. What was the objective of conducting this activity? What is it that you wanted to give the students? Please write it down in 1 sentence, 2 sentences. And request the teachers to please write it down. नहीं तो लिखोगे नहीं तो समझ में नहीं आता. What is the objective of conducting that particular activity? Then, what is the method of conducting the activity? It was a guest lecture. It was a visit. It was a to-do activity. It was a quiz. It was a group discussion. Whatever the method is. And what were the outcomes of that particular activity? What came out of it? My objective was this, but my outcomes are this. जैसे हमने वो बुक रिलीज में देखा है कि हमें लगता है आउटकम क्या हो सकता है, डिनर हो सकता है. आउटकम और क्या हो सकता है, किताब का सेल हो सकता है. आउटकम और क्या हो सकता है कि ऑथर के साथ डायरेक्ट बात हो सकती है. आउटकम और क्या हो सकता है, कश्मीर फाउंडेशन के बारे में समझ में आ सकता है. और आउटकम और क्या हो सकता है, पता नहीं कितने सारे आउटकम निकल के आ सकते हैं. और जितने अच्छे आउटकम निकल के आएंगे उतने आपको आपके रिपोर्ट राइटिंग में एडवांटेज मिलेगा. What are the outcomes of that particular activity? They are going to come out. Now, once this has been done, this sheet is the index sheet of the activity. इस शीट में आपको एट अ ग्लांस आईक्यूसी कोऑर्डिनेट को समझ में आ जाता है. आपको समझता है कि आपने क्या किया था. एक पेज में जो आपका 1 पेज रिपोर्ट बनने वाला था, इस रिपोर्ट के आधार पर ही बनता है. वो आपका रिपोर्ट है, एक पन्ने में हमने फिट करने की कोशिश की. इसके साथ आप क्या जोड़ने वाले हो, ओरिजिनल प्रूफ्स क्या आने वाले हैं, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एक्टिविटी की है तो उसके नोटिसेस है. ये सारे के सारे इसमें से अभी देखो, ये इसमें से डॉक्यूमेंट्स क्या है और प्रूफ्स क्या है, यानी रिकॉर्ड्स क्या है वो आ रहे. नोटिस और लेटर्स ये आपके रिकॉर्ड्स हैं. लिस्ट ऑफ स्टूडेंट पार्टिसिपेशन आपका रिकॉर्ड है. देन यू आर एबल टू सी एक्टिविटी रिपोर्ट आपका रिकॉर्ड है. जियो टैग्ड फोटोज आपका रिकॉर्ड है. फीडबैक फॉर्म आपका रिकॉर्ड है. फीडबैक फॉर्म के ऊपर से बना फीडबैक एनालिसिस, उस एक्टिविटी खत्म होने के बाद जो आप बना सकते हो गूगल फॉर्म बना के, वो जो एनालिसिस निकला है फीडबैक एनालिसिस. न्यूज क्लिप डायरेक्ट प्रूफ नहीं है पर आप रख सकते हो सकता है उस एक्टिविटी के लिए कोई सर्टिफिकेट हो सकता है आपने उसके लिए फ्लायर बनाया है. आजकल वो फ्लायर बनाया करो क्योंकि NAC considers it as a proof again, so you can have flyers also over here. This is one more thing that you can add. उसके activity report that has come into picture, so flyer that comes into picture. These are the proofs that you are adding it. जो proof आपने add किया imaginary अभी डाल तो उसको tick mark कर दो. ये मैंने इस sheet के साथ add कर दिया. Now this document, once it is made, when NAC asks for it, NAC say IQAC asks for it, you are going to give it to IQAC. What will IQAC do with this one activity? ये तो एक ही है ना. NAC IQAC will check it out, and IQAC will give a number to it. ये number देखो कैसा है. 1. This is the first activity that has come to IQAC. ये एक्टिविटी किसने की है? ये मिस्टर पीएम पहाड़े ने की है. इसके लिए पीएमपी डन करेंगे. ये किस डिपार्टमेंट के? ये जूलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट के. ये किस साल की एक्टिविटी है? 2021 की एक्टिविटी. यानी 2021 की एक फाइल बनेगी, 2022 की एक फाइल, 21-22 की एक फाइल बनेगी, 23-24 की एक फाइल बनेगी. हर साल की अलग फाइल बनेगी. हर एक्टिविटी को नंबरिंग आ जाएगा. ये किस क्राइटेरिया में जाती है? अगर वो लिख सकते हैं तो वो लिख देंगे, नहीं तो वो फिर बाद में नैक देख लेगा, आईक्यूसी देख लेगा और वो डाल देगा. और एक बात है कि ये आईक्यूसी के फाइल में इसका रिकॉर्ड कहाँ जाने वाला है? ये जो सर्टिफिकेट, ये जो कॉपी बनी है, ये जो डॉक्यूमेंट बना है, इसका रिकॉर्ड यानी ये नंबर कहाँ रखे जाने वाले हैं? ये आईक्यूसी के फाइल में आएगा. और आईक्यूसी के फाइल में ये भी आएगा कि ये डिपार्टमेंटल फाइल का नंबर क्या है या नाम क्या है. एकेडमिक एक्टिविटी जूलॉजी फाइल नंबर 3, डिपार्टमेंटल फाइल नंबर आ गया. ये सारे रिकॉर्ड जो है भी आईक्यूसी के फाइल में आ गए. और हो सकता है तो मैट्रिक नंबर दे देंगे, या नहीं दिया तो भी चल जाएगा. दिस इज वेर यू आर एबल टू सी यू आर एक्चुअली creating a retrievable documentation. उसके बाद क्या होने वाला है? Name है, name of the teacher and signature with date. Name of the head of the committee or in charge or the departmental head और उनकी signature. और IQAC coordinator का seal and date signature कि इस दिन ये आ गया है document. This is the way the document will be ready. After this, what? You have taken the number. Here you are able to see a number, and that happens to be PMP 1/PMP/Zoo/2021. ये एक बात हो गई. इसका मतलब है ये कंप्लीट डॉक्यूमेंट बन गया है. यहाँ पे ये डॉक्यूमेंट का नंबर लेने के बाद में IQAC will stamp this and return it back to the department. This will go in the property of the department. But what will they do with this? Let's go ahead with it. Then comes the summary of activities. Department ने एक ही एक्टिविटी नहीं की है, डिपार्टमेंट ने 10 एक्टिविटीज की है, तो उसकी एक समरी आ जाएगी, समरी ऑफ द डॉक्यूमेंट्स. तो जैसे ये एक एक्टिविटी हुई थी, वैसे 1 2 3 4 मान लो दैट डिपार्टमेंट हैज कंडक्टेड 20 एक्टिविटीज. सो इन 20 एक्टिविटीज की कंप्लीट लिस्ट आ जाएगी. This list is going to, it's the same number. ये एक शीट बन गई जो एक्सेल शीट में बनानी है. Serial number, date. I'll make it bigger so that you can see it better. You have the hard copy of it definitely. I know that. Serial number, date, activity number, name of the activity, list of documents submitted. जो उसमें लिखे वो यहाँ पे आने वाले. Name of the activity coordinator and criteria number. ये सारा एक्सेल शीट में आने वाला. इट इज टू प्रिपेयर्ड इन एक्सेल. फॉर एग्जांपल, फर्स्ट एक्टिविटी वाज कंडक्टेड ऑन 29/19 or let us say 2020. The number of that document given by IQAC is 1/PMP/Zoo/2021. Guest lecture by Dr. R.M. Patil on carbon chemistry in environment and its effects. List of documents submitted, invitation and thanks letter, participant list, photo, report, feedback analysis. Who did that activity? Mr. Pahadi did that activity. Which criteria is it? It is in criteria 7. Now, what will happen when you do this? When you have a collective activity sheet of it, then something very fantastic is going to happen. सारी एक्टिविटीज, जूलॉजी डिपार्टमेंट ने 10 एक्टिविटीज की है, फिजिक्स ने 15 एक्टिविटीज की है, कॉमर्स ने 25 एक्टिविटीज की है, सारों की एक एक लिस्ट थ्रू मेल आने वाली है, उसके ऊपर हार्ड कॉपी होगी, उसके ऊपर सिग्नेचर दे दिया है. यू आर एबल टू सी नेम ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट ऑब्लिक कमिटी, name of the head of the signature, name of the head and signature. He will be giving his signature and sign. IQAC coordinator has collected these documents. He will be sealing and signing it. Principal will be signing it. इसकी 2 कॉपीज बनेंगी, एक IQAC के पास जाएगी, एक डिपार्टमेंट के पास जाएगी. इसकी सॉफ्ट कॉपी है वो IQAC को मिलेगी. Now, what will IQAC do? IQAC will compile all these activities in this particular format only, and then we'll use a very fantastic tool called as the sort tool. जो कि एक्सेल में बना है, तो एक्सेल में अगर ये टूल इस्तेमाल करते हैं, सॉर्ट क्राइटेरिया 1, सारे के सारे क्राइटेरिया 1 के डॉक्यूमेंट सॉर्ट हो जाएंगे, 2K, 3K, 4K, 5K, 6K, 7K. एक बार सॉर्ट हो गई कि उसकी नई लिस्ट आ गई, कि उसकी उन डॉक्यूमेंट्स की प्रिंट निकाली जाएगी, उसकी हार्ड कॉपी फाइल को लग जाएगी. इस साल क्राइटेरिया 1 की 15 एक्टिविटीज हुई है, क्राइटेरिया 2 की 225 एक्टिविटीज हुई है, क्राइटेरिया 3 की 27 एक्टिविटीज हुई है, क्राइटेरिया 4 की इतनी हुई है, क्राइटेरिया 5 की इतनी हुई है, 6 की इतनी हुई है, 7 की इतनी हुई है. पूरा एनालिसिस आ गया. इस पूरे एनालिसिस को लेके IQAC अपना रिपोर्ट बना सकती है, AQAR आसानी से बन जाता है. अगर लगे तो ओरिजिनल डॉक्यूमेंट कहाँ है, तो हम यहाँ पे कह सकते हैं कि भाई जरा इनको देख लो. दिस इज द प्लेस वेयर यू आर एबल टू सी द ओरिजिनल डॉक्यूमेंट्स, एंड यू काइंडली ये see this document number, who has prepared it. अच्छा, call this person who has prepared this document, and after you have prepared this, check out who has prepared this document. You can ask for the original document, see the original document while writing down the report, and the story is over. What is going to happen in this case? The original documents will remain with the department or with the committee, because department or committee needs it. और क्या होगा? IQAC will need only one cupboard for 5 years. IQAC has all the information of the document that has been prepared, in which file it is kept over there. And something very important that you have not seen over here so far is the college takes it in writing from the head of the department or the IQAC coordinator. The above listed documents are in custody of the head of the department of zoology, let us say. The documents are a property of the college, and they will be provided on demand to IQAC/college. This is distributed documentation. Everybody is accountable for documentation. And because the owner needs it, it is available whenever asked. The record filed in IQAC is in so and so place. It is kept at so and so in so and so file. Sign signature of the IQAC coordinator. ये शीट साइन करके IQAC coordinator दे रहा है, और इसका एनालिसिस भी उनके पास है. This is how good documentation come in. As a result of which you are able to see, because of this kind of documentation, you will be able to see that there will be no issues. Document is available, the owner has the document. This is for the activities. This is not for research. But when we come to research documentation, it becomes personal documentation. हमने जो पहले देखा था, it is personal documentation. So इसको कैसे बनाए भाई? रिसर्च में इतने एस्पेक्ट्स ही आते हैं. Name of the teacher, department, year. The teacher can have research project. The teacher can be a research guide. The teacher can present papers in conferences. The teacher can get awards. The teacher can write research papers. The teacher may write in books. The teacher can have patent. The teacher can have industry related linkages. इतनी 8 एक्टिविटीज में ही टीचर आता है रिसर्च कंपोनेंट में. तो उसको कैसे करेंगे? मान लो कितने रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट्स है. मान लो यहाँ पर कि एक टीचर के पास में 2 रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट्स है, तो उसमें क्या डिटेल आ जाएंगे? रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट्स में प्रिंसिपल इन्वेस्टिगेटर, उनका नाम आ जाएगा वापस, क्योंकि उसके साथ को इन्वेस्टिगेटर भी हो सकता है. टाइटल ऑफ द रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट, फंडिंग एजेंसी ड्यूरेशन ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट, अमाउंट। ये डालने के बाद में ये कंप्लीट हो गया है, ऑनगोइंग हो गया, सैंक्शन हो गया। इसके बाद अगर 2 है तो दूसरे में फिर से कंप्लीटेड, ऑनगोइंग, सैंक्शन, उसमें उतने डिटेल्स आ जाएंगे। तो इसका मतलब ये सीट बढ़ सकती है। गाइडशिप अगर होगी तो कितने स्टूडेंट्स है, तो एक स्टूडेंट के लिए इतनी डिटेल आ जाएंगे। नेम ऑफ द रिसर्च स्टूडेंट, हिज रिसर्च टॉपिक, फंडिंग, फंडिंग बाय द स्टूडेंट, उसको फंडिंग है क्या, कंप्लीट हो गया है या ऑनगोइंग। दूसरा स्टूडेंट आएगा तो ये फिर से 1 2 3 4 उसके लिए आ जाएगा। रिसर्च पेपर्स प्रेजेंटेड इन कॉन्फ्रेंसेस, सीरियल नंबर क्या है, 1। टाइटल ऑफ रिसर्च पेपर क्या है, लिखो। प्रोसीडिंग, टाइटल ऑफ द प्रोसीडिंग ऑफ द कॉन्फ्रेंस वो क्या है, वो लिखो। कॉन्फ्रेंस का नाम क्या था, वो लिखो। ये नेशनल थी या इंटरनेशनल थी, ये लिखो। पब्लिकेशन ईयर क्या था, ये लिखो। ISBN ISSN नंबर क्या है, वो लिखो। एफिलिएटिंग इंस्टीट्यूट, किसने ये प्रोसीडिंग बनाया है, वो लिखो। और पब्लिशर कौन है, ये लिखो। इतने ही डिटेल्स उसमें आ जाते हैं। Then we talk of awards. The name of the awardee, that is you. Name of the award, let us say Best Teacher Award. Awarding agency, let us say Government of India. A year of award, 2000, let us say 20. Incentives given by the organization. Looking at all this, organization gave an incentive of 5,000 rupees. जिसका चेक नंबर वगैरह जो डिटेल्स है वो यहाँ पे आ जाएंगे। Then you are able to see research papers. This is one more thing that teachers do. Number, title of the research paper, name of the author, department, name of the journal, year of publication, ISBN ISSN number, index or not index, impact factor क्या है. Keep in mind, only UGC care listed journals and international journals are going to be counted. दूसरी बात यह है कि उन जर्नल्स के लिंक्स आप यहां दे सकोगे। अगर आपने ऐसा कोई रिसर्च पेपर लिखा है कि जिस कंपनी का, यानी the one who has published it does not have his website, on which these papers are not available, on which the links are not available, then in that case that paper will not be counted. Very recently, just 15 days ago or so, there was a college who made a mention, sir, we have written down 180 research papers in the last 5 years. I said, that's a good number because the total number of teachers are something like 10. And then when we looked into the matter, then we came to know that out of these 180 research papers, only 130 research papers could be counted. Remaining research papers could not be counted because they had come into predatory journals. So, if it is not care listed or it is not an international journal whose certificate is not to be seen on their website, whose index number, whose impact factor is not to be seen, they have a certificate on it. Don't go for that research paper, because once you have given your research paper, it becomes the property of the publisher. अगर ऐसा हमारा हो गया है, कुछ हमने ऐसे अच्छा रिसर्च किया है और किसी और प्रेडिटरी जर्नल को दे दिया 600 रुपए में, तो उसको बोल दो कि आई वांट माय रिसर्च पेपर बैक बिकॉज योर रिसर्च पेपर इज, माय रिसर्च पेपर इज नॉट गेटिंग काउंटेड इन योर जर्नल, and give it to the right publication where it can be published. So get a official permission from him that now kindly delink my name from that particular journal. Print तो हो चुका है, उसका कोई यूज भी नहीं है, पर फिर आप वो कंटेंट किसी और को दे सकते हो. Same is the case with books, chapters published, उसके लिए कुछ नहीं, but what you have to give the details. If you have filed patents, you can give the details of the patent and industry related linkages that you have created, they can come in. This is what comes into research. This needs to be filled up in this way. This cannot go in activity number 1. Activity sheet number 1, document number 1 में नहीं जा सकता, because this is an individual work that you are doing. And the last document that I wish to share with you, and that happens to be teaching methodologies, which is needed only once in 5 years. But if you have a record of it, then you can tell that you have used multiple methods to teach. इसके प्रूफ क्या होता है? सबसे बड़ा प्रूफ आपका अटेंडेंस है. अगर कहीं कुछ एक्टिविटी अलग ले रहे हैं तो जियो टैग फोटो आ सकते हैं. फीडबैक्स एंड फीडबैक एनालिसिस कैन कम इन फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर एक्टिविटी. Then you are able to see a teaching plan and a diary, into which if you can make a mention of your teaching methodology, that can come in. If you have gone out, a visit report can come in. Anything else that you find as a proof can come into picture. Now, this is just an example. In, let us say, on 28/18, cell division was being taught by, let us say, teacher called Dr. Shweta Pandit. Games and quizzes was the methodology. Methodology was participatory, students participated in it. It was in FIBSC class, total 72 students had participated. See, for 4 years, this is not going to be asked, but in the 5th year, this is going to come in. But this will give you a complete list of various teaching methods that we have used. Believe me, even an average teacher uses more than 10 methods. But because we don't write down these methods at the end, while writing down the report, we don't have any proofs. So keeping the proof, this is a very important aspect, is very, very important. Here again, you are able to see name of the teacher and signature, head of the department and IQC. इसका document हम इकट्ठा करके रख सकते. It is this way, this documentation that needs to be done out. Once you do this documentation, this plays a very important role, because teacher is the backbone of the entire system. Teacher has 4 jobs to do. One, of course, teaching, learning, examinations. This is one part. Role number 2 of the teacher happens to be teacher's role in community work. इसका मतलब है our students participating in community through our academics. अब आप कहोगे सिलेबस में तो नहीं लिखा है. Syllabus is what university makes. Curriculum is what a teacher and the organization does. This is the difference between syllabus and curriculum. Syllabus is made by the university. Syllabus is the framework. Curriculum is unlimited, made by the teacher. Until and unless some of your work goes into the community. It could go as a survey. Student must interact with the community. It's the second job that comes into picture. Third, of course, is the research. And fourth is doing those activities which are needed by the college, working in committees and all those. These are the 4 areas only into which the teacher works. And these are only the 4 areas that NAC checks in 7 criteria. So actually NAC is checking the teacher. So looking into these aspects, let's go ahead with something more. And then we will be ending up. Karthik ji, I think so we have 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. You can take your time, sir. No issues.
Yes, fine, fantastic.
Yes.
I will just complete the presentation part, and then we will also try to actually see what teachers have to say about this documentation. We have looked into how to create the documents over here. Now, I will be giving you 1 or 2. Let us come back into our chat boxes and let us participate into these. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Well, teachers, we have this activity. What can be the possible document that come into this activity? I will like you to either share in the chat box, or you can also share orally if you wish to. You can talk out also, not an issue. An anti-litter drive in association with one of the agencies was conducted with NSS in surrounding areas of ABC College, including the Vishwavidyalaya metro station, was conducted on 13 September 2019. 25 students participated in this activity. What will be the possible document that are needed? Can you please list them out in the chat box? I have opened up my chat box. Please open your chat box. Geotag photos, absolutely right. Number 1, very true, good. What more can come? Geotag photos have come in, very true. Right. What more? Yes. Litter collected के साथ के photos. How much litter is collected? Maybe you may put the number. Fine. Then a photograph can come along with it. That's right. What more can come in? Yes. What more can come in? List of participants must come in. Number of times it has been done can come in. Fantastic. Here it is once, but you have to, if it is done frequently, then number of times it will come in. See, now the list is coming in, and these are becoming our records. Is anything else to come in? Absolutely right. You're participating very well. Great. Anything else? A photograph along with the litter. That is that also, just as we have photos, but just as we are doing the activity, this is one photo, but with a display of everything that comes into picture. That should also come in. That can also come in. So these are some of the document that will come in. Absolutely right. Now let's go to one more activity. A girl child education. This is one activity. Rose Udan Home, Kamla Nagar, New Delhi. Along with them, this activity has been conducted from June 2019 to January 2020. 36 students have participated in this activity. What will be the document that will be needed over here? Content of the education. Okay. Fine. This is one part. Fine. Excellent. Then, who were the tutors? That is okay. Okay. Then, just 1 minute. Yes. Concerning department certifying the activity. Okay. Participant list with sign. Now, keep in mind, this activity is going on from 2019 to 2020. And it is with another organization. So what must come in? Your college and another organization. What should come in between the two first? Participant list, signature, topic, content, ये तो बराबर आएगा ही आएगा bro. What is the heart of this particular base for this activity to take place? What should be the base of this activity to take place? Yes. Age group has come into all these aspects. Absolutely right. Someone has made a mention as MOU. Very true. This is one part. Then second part. Meetings have taken place. Records of the meetings are going to come in. Absolutely right. Then identifying the needs that must come into the document MOU. That's absolutely right. Very nice. Excellent. You are making it very precise. Collaboration letters that are going to come in. That is MOU. And then the program copy that so many times the children will come. These topics will be taught in, etc. The next part that comes in. What more can come into picture? Can some photos also come into picture? Can we have some geotagged photos over here? Yes, some geotagged photos can come into picture. Absolutely right. Then you are able to see some other aspects. Maybe a news can come into picture. A news column can come into picture. All this data, how many students have participated, their names can come into picture. Absolutely right. Posters can come into picture because you need these posters, photos of these posters, or the soft copy of the posters to be showcased out when you are giving the proofs to NAC. So thank you so much. You have participated very well in this particular activity. So these were some examples that this is one more that we will take in. The last one. The bridge course has been conducted and it is laboratory instrumentation, where principal usage and applications and instrument techniques for BSc honors zoology semester 1 students have been conducted from 5th August to 10th August, and 43 students have participated in this activity. What will be the documents? Can you help me out? What will be the documents? Venue will come in. Okay. What more will come in? Okay. Venue has come in. Then what more will come in? A notice can come in. Need for the bridge course will come in. Absolutely right. Description of the need for the bridge course will come in. Then reason for the bridge course will come in. Very true. List of participating students will come in. Maybe 1 or 2 photos, hands-on training will come in. Timetable will come in. Absolutely right. Anything else to come in? A report of the entire activity must come in. Teaching mode will come in, geotagged photos will come in, objectives of the course will come in the document that you are going to do. The list of equipments will come into the document. That's absolutely right. Very nice. Now, something very important. Once this documentation, thank you so much. I will be closing down my chat box now. Something very important that I wish to make a mention. When such an activity is being conducted, the management must be informed about it. So that would mean that when we are talking of such kind of documents, into the meetings of CDC or into the management meetings, this must be discussed that we are going to conduct this activity. So it will come into the minutes of the meeting. Second part, there is one more thing that comes in. After this event is over, whenever the next CDC meeting comes into picture, at that time the report of it must be submitted. So which must be acknowledged by the committee. It must reflect in the meetings of the minute, because these are the proofs that NAC asks for. You have conducted this bridge course, absolutely right, great. But has it reflected into the minutes of the meeting? Now, this particular program is being conducted. It would mean that if it is not there in the CDC, you will have to see to it that in the CDC it is mentioned out. And after this is over, and when the next college development committee meeting takes place or the management meeting takes place, this program has been conducted and it has been conducted with a report coming into picture. You may read it over there, you may send them in advance, but it must reflect in the meetings, then and then it gets counted out. So for such kind of activities, even the higher level of management must approve those things, that this has been conducted and it has been minuted in the meetings. Then it becomes a valid document, it becomes a solid proof. So these were some of the things that I wanted to share with the teachers on documentation. Your questions are welcome, and otherwise I have tried to complete in time. I have taken fight that those many times the minutes are always needed. So I request you to please ask your questions, or else we have completed the session. The session was very participatory. Participants participated very well. Questions, please.
I request all the participants to put your question in the chat box, please. I think, sir, as such, there is no questions. Only one question is there, whether peer-reviewed journal consider or not.
A peer-reviewed journal is considered provided it is UGC care listed. If it is not UGC care listed, or it is not an international journal which has a website, which has a recognition, which has all the statutory requirements, then it will be considered. It should not so happen that an international journal from Nagpur or from Pune itself, they say we are international, and they also make a mention saying that our impact factor is 6.62. Believe me, in India, there is no journal with an impact factor more than 1.
One more question, sir.
Yes.
Whether it is necessary to take feedback on visits?
Yes. Every activity must have a feedback. Every activity must have a feedback, because feedback is the best way to understand your clients. I'm saying the word clients now because we work under HRD. So our students are our clients. So unless we take a feedback and unless we analyze our feedback, which is now available on Google, we cannot improvise on it. Every feedback must be taken. And every feedback form must have at least one column which is going to allow them to put their remarks. Because I have seen some feedback forms where they are objective, yes or no, yes or no. But the participant does not have any choice to answer, to give his feedbacks, which can be an unstructured feedback. So it must have at least one or two such kind of questions whereby the participant will express his or her own views, and that is where you're able to see things can work in. I will request one more thing, Karthik sir, to please. You may be having a lot of questions on NAC and you may be having a lot of questions on documentation. We have a group on Telegram where you can get all the answers. There are around 3,200 plus participants pan India, which includes a very large number of IQAC coordinators, principals, people from NAC, and also a good number of vice chancellors. So if you, Karthik sir, I'll request you to please put that link on the group so that people can join on that link, through that link, if they have Telegram app downloaded, and their queries are answered. The minute the query is put up in some time, somebody answers those queries, and a very large number of queries are answered on that group. So those who are interested, in the chat box, if you can just put it up, or on the group that you have, and on the YouTube live that you have, if you could put up the link, I'll be very thankful to you. So teachers get the big benefit out of it. That's what I wanted to make a mention. Yes. Any other question that is there, madam?
Sir, may I
Sir,
ask?
I've already put in the WhatsApp group.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you very
Karthik
much.
sir, can I ask us? It's not
Yes,
a question.
Please,
Yes.
please, madam.
Please.
Sir, I am Dr. Priya Vanzari, Santaji Mahavidyalaya.
Yes, ma'am.
It was indeed a very good, detailed presentation, sir. And it was basically for documentation and how teachers should go about it.
Yes.
And feather in the cap was the last line which you used. NAC comes for teachers, isn't it?
Yes.
To check teachers. And teachers really don't believe this. They think they come for the management, for the college, for the principal, and not for teachers. It is the
80% of teachers, there are 350 marks exclusively for the teachers. That is, passing is with the teachers. 35% goes with the teachers.
Karthik sir is smiling. He knows what I mean, sir.
Now here you are able to see criteria 1, which goes with the curriculum, goes with the teachers. And just highlighting out. Criteria 1 goes with the teachers. Criteria 2 belongs to the teachers. Criteria 3, which is on research, which only teachers can do. Criteria 3, which is on extension, only teachers can do. Infrastructure may not be a part related to teachers, which is only for 100 marks. But criteria 5 again belongs to the teachers, which is related to student progression and student support. Without teachers, nothing can happen. Governance and management can come only into practice only if the teachers are working it out. Criteria 7, best practices go along with the teachers only. Now, what is with, there are, let us say, 50 marks with the management and 100 marks with the infrastructure. The rest of it belongs to the teachers.
Very correct. Yes. And teachers should start believing. Of course, many are there who know these things. But still, that thing is always undercurrent, sir. Like this NAC exercise is only for principal, IQAC coordinators, and or IQAC team, and of course, the management.
No, but then unless the material comes, what will they do?
Yes, that is what.
And now it has become very, very objective. I'll give you one example. In the most recent DVV that has come just 8 days back, one of the colleges, I can even name Bharati College, they were asked, you say these 3,000 students belong to you. Bharati College is a college which works under Delhi University, DU. So these are 3,000 students, 3,200 students that you have. That's what is the proof that they are your students?
Very good.
What is the proof? Now you will say they have registered with us. That's not the proof. They have taken admission. That's not the proof. Now here the proof comes in is that they have a PRN number, just as we have, they have an enrollment number over there. Now, this student number is based on teacher number. Now, teachers are surviving on the students only. Because the teachers are doing well, so students are coming over there. So just look into it. Teacher plays a role. You cannot say. And if the teacher does not contribute in documentation, and if the teacher thinks I am not accountable for documentation, ideally we cease to exist. We need not work in that institution. We should leave the institution. Go there where you are important. Don't be there where you are not important.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, one question asked by Peshwe sir. When activities are live on platforms such as YouTube, Zoom, do you still need to be stringent on the other documentation part? What can be the logic in such a cases if all of it is required?
What is the proof that you have conducted an activity? If you say everything is going on Zoom, then why did you ever conduct an activity? The answer is given actually. Proofs are extremely necessary. Screenshots become important. Attendance becomes very important. I will always make a mention saying that Zoom has, or all other activities, they have a registration form. Take a registration, keep an attendance. Once you register, that would mean that the student has, you can keep a statement saying that I am registering on my own will. And then, for example, now short-term courses that are going to go on, they may go on Zoom. I will further even recommend you. There are so many things that will take place. The world is now post-COVID is changing so drastically. You can put your courses on the LMS platforms where records can be maintained automatically. If he has joined, he is going to get a record over there. If he has joined, the minute he joins, LMS records it. He has joined at this time, he has left at this time. Your training material can have questions. If he has answered those questions, his marks get recorded out over there. You're actually creating a very large number of proofs. Second part is that you are able to save a big amount of time. Now with COVID situation, we don't know how long we are going to remain on the campus. How long are we going to teach actively? This mode is a part of our life now. So creating records plays a very important role. I'll share one event with you, or rather two very small events with you, which have taken place just a few months ago with me. We could not conduct practicals. So university said you have to take a viva of the student. So I conducted the viva of the student, and by God's grace, I had kept a recording of every student. The minute he would come, I would record it out. It was on Zoom only. We shared our internals with marks with the students. And after 15 days, the students said that 15 days, marks were filled, sent to the university. He said, I have given my examination, but you have not put my marks. Why I should not go to the university? Furthermore, he said, I am not staying in Pune. This is the big part. So I cannot come to you. So I said, okay, no issues. If you are saying so, I have the clips to show you. Show me whether your clip is there. If you have the clip, I will take it. It's my mistake. This is one thing. This means tomorrow more dangers are going to come. Second part, Viva was going on. One student entered in and said, my camera is not working, so I cannot answer your question. I will answer it in dark. So I told him कि भाई अगर आपका कैमरा का प्रॉब्लम है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. ऐसे 3 बच्चे जिन्होंने कहा हमारा कैमरा तो काम नहीं करता. मैंने कहा कोई बात नहीं, आप कहाँ रहते हो? बोले पुणे में रहते. कोई बात नहीं, तुम लाइव आ जाओ, हम आपकी वाइवा कॉलेज में ले लेंगे. 15 मिनट में उनका कैमरा शुरू हो गया. तीसरी बात है इंटरनल एग्जाम्स कंडक्ट करने से once I got this feel for the second term, prepared a registration form. You first register. After the registration was done, though apne bachche, you register for the examination. They registered. I put the list. These are the registered students. उसके बाद 15 स्टूडेंट्स ने फिर से रजिस्ट्रेशन किया. Only those who are registered can appear for the examination. Now see, you are creating techniques. उसके बावजूद भी 3 बच्चे ऐसे थे कि जिन्होंने रजिस्टर नहीं किया था. They came on the last day. Tomorrow we are going to face problems if we don't have a system whereby we are going to check these mechanisms. And that 1 student or 2 students can be very dangerous to us. So everything that you do, even on a technology platform, it must have proofs. It must have records. This is what I just wanted to add to. I hope I've tried to answer your question.
Okay, sir. I think there is no questions now. So thank you very much, sir, for enlightening us with your knowledge on this important topic, that is the documentation process. I assure you that the doubts of the participants have been cleared through your presentation. Thank you once again, sir.
Yeah,
Now
I put my number in the chat box in case anybody wants to communicate. You can always communicate. Please feel free to communicate. We keep on answering everybody's queries. We have a bad habit of being in touch with people.
Definitely.
This is my mail ID and this is my mail ID. That also I'm adding out over here. Just 1 minute and then we can stop. And people from Vidarbha can be very comfortable with me because I am primarily from Vidarbha only. I'm from Nagpur only. I was with Binzani College also for some time to conduct a session over there 2 years ago. And a good number of people from Nagpur are in touch with me. So anyway, thank you so much, Karthik ji, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Dr.
Sir,
Vinod,
it was a pleasure. I mean, it was a pleasure, absolute pleasure listening to your lecture. It always has been that way. And I'm sure that the participants would have been immensely benefited. I mean, I personally have been benefited despite being an IQC coordinator for say 3 years now. I mean, there is a lot of new knowledge that I have acquired from your lecture, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Karthik
Now
sir,
I hand over
Yeah,
the
Madam, yeah, please.
make an announcement that the participants have to stay on.
Yeah. Pahade sir, and I request all the participants also to stay on with us for the valedictory function. The Honorable Joint Director, Higher Education, Nagpur Region, Dr. Sanjay Thakre, is joining us in a couple of minutes. He actually had joined us, but because he had some work, he left and he said he will be joining immediately. So just wait for a couple of minutes.
We can do one more thing. In these 2-3 minutes, we can have the feedbacks on the session if any participant wishes to.
Yeah, no issues. Even if there are questions, sir, you can take
Questions can be taken up.
Yeah, there were a couple of questions that I could see in the chat box.
Yeah, if you can take them, please take them.
yeah, one more question is there. Is indexing of the journal considered only at the time of publication?
No, once it is indexed, it remains an indexed journal. This is one thing. And every indexed journal indicates its quality. Second part is that once indexing comes into picture, then automatically how many people have referred to your paper, that automatically starts coming into picture. And it gets reflected in the indices, Thomson-Reuters index, or there are many others, those that you are able to see, which plays a very important role. Only those are counted, others are not counted.
Sir, one more question.
Yes, please.
Sir, can you please describe what incentives to be given to the teacher on special recognition, publication, patent, awards, etc., and how to document them?
Okay. I'll give you an example over here. We have a management institution over here, which gives 1 lakh rupees to the teacher if he completes his PhD. If a teacher has completed his PhD, he is given 1 lakh rupees. It's a private institution, a management school over here. Now, when 1 lakh rupees is to be given, of course, it would come as a check. It would come as a bank transfer, which will get reflected in the account. There are many institutions who give money to the teachers for writing down the research papers. If a teacher has got a national award, see, I'm very specific, national, state awards. I'm not talking about those awards because there are a very big number of organizations who have sprung up. I remember a year ago there was one gentleman who called me and said that, sir, I'm very proud of you. I said, why are you proud of me? You're doing a great work. I said, okay, we wish to give you an award. I said, who are you? Sir, we are an organization who gives awards to good people. I said, okay, fine. And please help us to put this on your group. I said, how is your mechanism? So he started telling, we have 4 rounds, we check the teacher, we do this, we do that. I said, okay, then. And then the teacher has to pay a small fee of 8,000 rupees.
Sir, the next question is.
So
Madam, extremely sorry. Madam, we'll have to wind up and we'll share the questions with Pade sir later on.
Yes,
the Honorable Joint Director, Dr. Sanjay Thakre has joined us. Sir, may I request you to start your video?
Now
Yes,
I hand over the session to Mr. Ajay Devpt sir to proceed with valedictory programs.
Thank you, madam.
It gives me great pleasure to inform you all that we have Dr. Sanjay Thakre, Honorable Joint Director, Nagpur Higher Education, Nagpur Region, Nagpur, with us today as the chief guest for the valedictory function. Sir, मैं थोड़ा बता देता हूँ 1-2 मिनट की ये क्या हुआ. I mean 7-8 दिनों का ये वर्कशॉप था. Sir, am I audible to you? Yes, sir. Yes, sir, this FDP Faculty Development Cum Orientation Program on Assessment and Accreditation Process of NAC was organized jointly by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell from Santaji Mahavidyalaya Nagpur, Devpt Arts, Commerce and Science College Bandara, Mahila Mahavidyalaya Nagpur, Yashoda Girls Arts and Commerce College Nagpur, Devpt MPD Memorial Science College Nagpur, and Dr. M.K. Umate, sorry, M.K. Umate College Nagpur, and Barrister Sheshrao Wankade College of Arts and Commerce, Kaparkeda. The good afternoon. The FDP started on 20th, and today is the 8th day, the concluding day. We had
sir, please ask everyone to mute their mics. Remaining participants, please mute your mic.
Siddharth Mesham sir, please अपने आप को mute कर लीजिए.
Thank you.
Sir. So in these 8 days, every single day was allotted to one criteria, and I would like to tell you that we had 3 resource persons allotted to us from the NAC. We had Dr. Manjunath Rao, Deputy Advisor NAC. We had Dr. B.S. Ponmudiraj, Advisor NAC, and Dr. Leena Gahane, Deputy Advisor NAC, Bangalore, guiding us on different criteria. In addition to that, we had 3 NAC panelists also, Dr. Ajay Gaur, Dr. Jyoti Patil, and today we had the special session on documentation and evidences that was conducted by Dr. Piyush Pade sir. Dr. Piyush Pade sir is there with us in this valedictory function. I would like to tell you that around 500 participants from different states of India participated in this faculty development program, and these delegates include participants from the states of Maharashtra, Gujarat, Chhattisgarh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh, and some 13 states. And I'm happy that we have more than 500 participants benefiting from this FTP. May I now invite our chief guest to bless us with his kind words on this occasion.
Thank you, sir. So, dignitary who join online to this conference, this faculty development program, come orientation on NAC accreditation and assessment process. Really, it is a very good endeavor to from your side, from the different college, come forward for the this such types of program. And as you told that there are 500 more, near about 500 participants are there. So definitely their knowledge faculty development program definitely. But as a joint director, as a government nominee, government person, I would say, talk to some things that maybe helpful for the you people definitely. Might be someone already enlightened on that one, but I don't know actually about that one. They are talking about during this 8-day FDP program on this issue or not. I don't know actually, but I think that I should highlight this particular point so it can be helpful for the colleges or the institutions or who maybe due for the NAC accreditation process first time or second time or what may be the third cycle or maybe. So as you know that very well, the teacher is the main component of the every teacher and the student. These are the two main component of the each college. As a joint director division or as a joint director concern, the teacher is a very important part. And as per the 7th commission, we have the caste promotion. And for the caste promotion, we are adopting the two tables, table 1 and table 2. The table 1 is very essential for the first promotion, that is the 10 to 11, then 11 to 12 and 12 to 13A. And for the 13A, the table, along with the table 1, the table 2 is very, very essential. As you know that in the NAC, there are the 7 criteria there. And for the particular colleges, the teaching, learning and evolution is a very important criteria because the maximum marks they are given to this criteria. If we are looking this criteria, teaching, learning and evolution, and if we are looking the table 1 and table 2 of our caste promotion criteria, they are very much correlated with each other. They are we can say that they are coordination. For example, if we are taking the table 1, there is the teaching evolution. As we know that in the caste promotion, the table 1 or table 2, the API and this document should be certified by the IQAC. I introduce this particular sign of this IQAC chairman because the assessment, the people who are frame this 7th commission or writing this 7th rules, terms and conditions, and they know that this NAC is having this types of the criteria. If we are looking the IQC chairman, the IQC coordinator having very important role to enhance the quality in the higher education. And that's why they put their sign in that particular table. So if the IQC coordinator periodically monitor the teaching and evolution of the each teacher,
that will helpful
for the assessment in the assessment, right? So as we know that, but what happens, what I observe in during these 6 or 7 months, no one is focused on this table 1. When we are going to the college, we are certainly check the particular documents and we leave that. But table 1, that teaching is a very essential criteria. If you are monitored very regularly, definitely that will be helpful for that. So IQC chairman, I request you to the all IQC coordinator, they should take the periodical monitoring of the teaching of each teacher. What type of, how much classes he taken, how much the lecture he attained, how much students they are attending his classes. And according to that, he will suggest some remedy for that particular teacher. So in that way, the teacher will enhance their skill. And as a result of that, definitely the quality of the teaching will be improved in the higher education. Definitely that way, we will, the society will helpful. Society gets more on the system. Along with the teaching, if we are calling, taking case of the evaluation again, evaluation is also a very important process. So after the teaching the particular topic, whether that student is passing that topic or not, that is very important. And hence, the IQC coordinator, if we are monitoring this process after teaching, what evaluation method the teacher, he or she is adopting. He will suggest that you adopt this evaluation method, so it can be helpful. Someone taking the evaluation method, for example, the question answer session, question answering pattern, but after the completion of the evaluation, whether that teacher is discussed that question paper with the student is a very important matter, because the student write the paper, but how to write the paper is also very important. So this way, this table 1, if the all IQC chairman, IQC coordinator, if they are focused on the table 1, which are given in the cash promotion as per the 7th pay, definitely, I think that definitely your NAC assessment will be very easy. That can be helpful. Indirectly, your NAC SSR will be ready within a time. But for that, you should take the periodical evaluation. It should not be like that. When we are going to the NAC assessment, before 6 months or 7 months, we are taking the pain for that one and we will do it. So these are my suggestions. So I request all the stakeholder, the IQC coordinator principals, they should take the note of that. And if they are continuously monitoring the teaching and evaluation of each teacher, definitely the college gets something more what they had. Definitely we are doing we are doing that one, but it is a time to do this in a systematic manner. It should be in the periodic manner. That is my appeal to all one. Thank you to the all organizers who invite me as a chief guest for this FDP program. Thank you to one and all. Thank you very much.
Ajay?
Hello. Yes. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable guidance. On the behalf of all organizing colleges, I extend my sincere thanks for accepting our invitation and for joining us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Can I leave now?
Now, Now I invite Dr. Nihal Sheikh to propose vote of thanks. Nihal, sir, over to you.
I, on behalf of all the organizers, am extremely proud to deliver the vote of thanks of the 8-day national level faculty development program and orientation program on assessment and accreditation process of NAC. This academic event has been organized by the IQACs of 7 colleges, that is Sattaji Mahavidyalaya, Yashoda Girls Arts and Commerce College, Nagpur, M.B. Patel Arts, Commerce and Science College, Bhandara, Dharampet MP Dev Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur, Dr. M.K. College, Nagpur, and Barrister Sheshrav Wankhede College of Arts and Commerce College, Kheda. I am extremely grateful to Honorable Sanjay Thakre, Joint Director, Higher Education, Nagpur Division, for accepting the invitation and for his encouraging remarks. Thank you very much, sir. The respected patrons of this FDP and orientation program have extended their wholehearted support for successful organization of this event. I express my sincere sense of gratitude to Honorable Dr. Ravi Dashputre, President Shri Sattaji Shikshan Vikas Sanstha Nagpur, Honorable Srimati Ratnamala Khaparde, Chairperson Purushottam Khaparde Health and Education Society, Honorable Advocate Ulhas Aurangabadkar, President Devpt Education Society, Honorable Shri Kishore Umate, Secretary Satimata Shikshan Sanstha, Honorable Shri Rajendra Jain, Secretary Bodhi Education Society, Honorable Shri Ravindra Fadnavis, President Stri Shikshan Prasarak Mandal, and Honorable Dr. Kundatai Vijayakar, President Barrister Shrestha Wankhede, 56th Birthday Foundation. In this orientation program and faculty development program, orientation program, we had many dynamic and erudite resource persons. They have done a marvelous job. They have enlightened us, they have cleared our doubts. I am grateful to all these honorable resource persons, Dr. Srihari Pingle, IQAC Coordinator, Sangamner, Dr. Ajay Gaur, Principal, Prabhuk Swami Science and HD College, Kadi, Dr. S.D. Mandawar, IQAC Coordinator, Shankar Rao Chawat College, Nadir, Dr. Leena Gahane, Deputy Advisor, NAC, Bangalore, Dr. Manjunatha Rao, Deputy Advisor, NAC, Bangalore, Dr. Jyoti Patil, NAC Panelist and Principal, Renuka College, Nagpur, Dr. Piyush Pahade, we had a session today, HV Desai College, Pune, and Dr. B.S. Parmoti Raj, Advisor, NAC. The respected principals of these 7 colleges, they have taken the lead role, and I would like to congratulate all the principals and the IQAC coordinators for maintaining a very good rapport and coordination with each other. They have provided all the cooperation and motivation to make the event so successful. I express my thankfulness to Dr. Priya Manjari, Principal, Santaji Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur, Dr. Vikas Dhobne, Principal, J.M. Patel, Arts, Commerce and Science College, Bhandara, Dr. Akhilesh Peshwe, Principal, Devpt MP Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Dr. D.B. Naik, Dr. M.K. Umate College, Nagpur, Dr. R.K. Tale, Principal, Shrestha Wankhede College of Arts and Commerce College, Khaparkheda, Dr. Vandana Bhagdikar, Principal, Mahila Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur, and Dr. Dhanraj Shetty, Principal of Yashoda Girls Arts and Commerce College, Nagpur. The IQAC coordinators of these 7 colleges have taken painstaking efforts to make the event successful. Hearty thanks are due to all these IQAC coordinators, Dr. Shrikant Majatkar, Dr. Krishna Meshram, Professor Ratnakar Rajewar, Dr. Samir Naik, Dr. Karthik Panikar, Dr. Anil Dodewar, and Dr. Sangeeta Chaure. Besides these, there are many teachers and members of the non-teaching staff who have worked tirelessly but remained behind the scene. A big thank you is due to all of them who have contributed immensely to achieve this success. The patient hearing and enthusiastic participation of all the participants is so praiseworthy. I am extremely grateful to all the dear and respected participants. We sincerely wish to meet all of you in the next academic activity. With these words, the 8-day national level faculty development orientation program on assessment and accreditation process of DAN comes to an end here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I request all the participants to stay connected to note down the important instruction. Over to you, Dr. Veena Maharaj.
Thank you, sir. With the kind permission of Chair, I declare that 8-day national level faculty development orientation program on assessment and accreditation program of NAC is concludes here. And there are some instructions for the participants. Submit your feedback form. The link will be provided in the WhatsApp group. While submitting feedback form, write your personal details correctly. The certificates will be issued to those who fill the feedback form. Thank you for your kind cooperation throughout this 8-day faculty development cum orientation program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Veena Mahajan. Thank you, Ajay Devkate, for the comparing.
And thank you, Dr. Nihal Sheikh.
Yeah.
Because the man behind the curtains
Exactly.
who made this program successful.
Yeah, exactly. He did a lot of listening.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, coordination on a daily basis almost.
Yes, because some people work tirelessly for the success. And
Yeah,
our thanks, because he was giving the official thanks, we can mention thanks to him.
Sure. So I'm closing the live stream.
Okay.